According to Emeka Chinedu, he says, my bill is focused on jungle justice, not protesters. 5 years in jail. House of Representative member Emeka Chinedu Martins has set the record straight on a bill he sponsored allegedly proposing a 5-year jail term for protesters. Well, that's a new bill that they want to stretch to the House of Representatives. That anybody that protests a 5 years jail term. Why would they do that? They don't want them to. Okay, they believe they will be in power for life. Well, if they now put in this bill and the bill is being, accredited and stamped, they think, or the Buhari administration thinks, is going to be on that seat forever. When another person emerges as the president, or for instance, the southern, region of Nigeria now brings out the president and eventually wins that election in 2023 as they have proposed, and they, in the other hand, want to protest. This law or bill that they have passed will go against them, so they should think before doing anything. Well, let's continue with Emeka Chinedu. Is also a senator. He's talking against the House of Representatives passing such bill. But notwithstanding, he says social media was agog on Tuesday after reports that the bill was centered on jailing protesters went viral. However, Honorable Chinedu has disclosed that the bill was majorly to address mob action and put an end to jungle justice. Below is a statement made available to Politics Nigeria on that matter. Having been inundated with calls and messages over a misconception gone viral, I wish to state that I am the PDP representative member representing the good people of Ayazu Ezin Ete Mbese Federal Constituency in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, whose bill that passed first reading on the floor of the chamber was twisted and misrepresented. The caption of the bill that went viral was never my intention or opinion. Neither was it an embodiment of the bill I sponsored that passed the first reading on the floor of the National Assembly on Tuesday, July 6, 2021. Hence, a clear case of misunderstanding, misconception, and misrepresentation of the facts. As a representative of the people whose political ideology is rooted in democratic tenets, I can never be a party to a system that seeks to stifle or cripple dissenting voices whose right to freedom of assembly, expression, and protest is granted by the combined effort of Section 39 and 40 of 1999 Constitution as amended, as well as Article 11 of the African Charter on Human and People's Right to Freely Assemble. While I urge Nigerians to imbibe the culture of reading beyond newspaper caption in order to comprehend the body of a message, it is imperative to pull the record straight in order to douse tension and allay the concerns of my teeming adherents. The Criminal Code Amendment Bill 2021 did not talk about criminalizing protests or protesters in Nigeria. Rather, it is a bill that proactively seeks to preserve life and protect the killing of the innocent through MOB action, known as jungle justice, in our local parlance. My argument, as captured in the commonly debate, is as follows: that now and then we hear and read in the news about mobs moving against people and properties, and the word MOB connotes a disorderly people intent on causing trouble or violence. That's mob. I am laying emphasis that mob actions are usually triggered spontaneously by accusations of bystander, then joined by another till it turns to a crowd of vengeful carnage and destruction on its part. And that the danger with mob actions is that participants typically believe they are punishing an accused for violation of the law, when in reality they are delving into jungle justice to the accused, who may be totally innocent and has not been given an opportunity to be fairly heard. Consequently, I assert that they become accusers, judges, and executors. Yes, This is what I believe Nigerians or the lawyers or the judges, because we have three arms of government: the judicial, the executive, and the legislator. I believe the judicial part, they should come out for Sunday Jupgl. They should have given him fair hearing. A protester or a self-determinant shouldn't be accused as a criminal until he has been proven guilty. And in Nigeria as it is today, you have the ability or chance for fair hearing, and the human rights violation that was meted on Sunday Jupgl is very, very unprofessional by the DSS. And meanwhile, they are supposed to be arrested just because invading someone's house at midnight, you are more or less like a criminal or a kidnapper or assassinator, because when you came into someone's house without permission, you invaded his privacy. If you had really wanted to arrest Sunday Jupgl, you would have sent letter to him. Then if he did not come within the time frame that the letter was sent to him, there should be a search warrant and arrest warrant. Then when you now go, you should go by the day within the working hours between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. in the evening. Then you go to his house, you knock. They will give you audience. If he's at home, he's at home. If he's not at home, then you give him fair hearing. You interview him. You are supposed to visit. Then he goes. Then after going, if he's proven guilty, that's when you can detain him and justice prevail. But as it is, human rights, we in the constitution we have freedom of speech, which is democracy, and we have the power of will for freedom. But when your freedom is now trampling upon the other person's toes, is when you are violating the law. Well, according to the senator says, I also added that most participants in mob actions are usually not informed first and about the situation before joining the destructive crowd in blind rage to carry out their ugly violence. Consequent upon which I cited the Alo 4 as a notable example, wherein in 2012 4 male students of the University of Port Harcourt who went on debt recovery were set off by the debtors who accused them of theft, leading to their gruesome murder through mob action. My argument further cited a case in 2016 where a man accused of homosexual in Ondo State was beaten to death, while another was lynched in Ebonyi State over accusation of theft of motorcycle. One therefore wonders the correlation between Criminal Code Cap 38 of the Federal and Federation of Nigeria that talks about mob action and riot, and the combined section 39 and 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended that talks about fundamental human right to protest, and also what the Alo 4 of Jupgl in Rivers State I referenced as an empirical evidence got to do with labor, political or other lawful protest as the case may be. It is deserving to state unequivocally that in all this I never prescribed a penalty for offenders, since the penalties were already enshrined. Rather, mob action was capriciously given the definition that was not clearly captured in toto. While I vehemently queried the failure of law enforcement agents to prevent mob action, jungle justice, or punish offenders according to the dictates of the law, while it is incomprehensible how a bill against jungle justice turned to criminalize lawful protest in a democratic state like ours, I am by this clarification advising well-meaning Nigerians, especially my seeming adherents, to disregard the incoherently deceptive news, as I, Honorable Emeka Martin Chinedu, is not only a product of justice but a man of his people who believe in democracy where rule of law is sacrosanct. Yes, that's coming from Chinedu. Well, I believe human rights law, or as it said, that everybody has a right to freedom, because it has been amended or said about fundamental human rights. So protest shouldn't be a crime in Nigeria. Well, how do you see this? I would like you to share your thoughts over this. Thanks for listening, and God bless.